Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit different. I'll basically just be showing you guys what I've been doing over the course of these last few days. As you guys know from last episode, I did say I was taking all those villager houses and I'm actually updating them here. So, let me show you first off what our houses look like right now. So this is one of the starting houses. So I basically redesigned the whole thing, made it look a little bit nicer, switched out the color to a white instead of an off-white like the other ones. I believe this should be white concrete. I just thought it looked nice. You could probably do quartz or something like that. The only issue with quartz for me is with my shaders, it kind of glimmers, and I didn't really want a glimmer. I wanted it to kind of be a dull white, so that's kind of why I went with that. Now you could switch this with a spruce as well. I'm not really going to show you guys how to build this or anything. Basically all I did was just take the original design, break it down, replace the block palette, and add a little bit extra to it. So if you come in here, these are all villager proof, so they can't actually leave this front door. I use the carpet here to actually stop them from leaving, so they're just a little teensy weensy bit too tall to actually leave, but they got nice little areas they can hang out in. Look, I even made a tiny little excuse the sounds in the background, my cat's just knocked everything over. But yeah, there's like a little laptop. It doesn't look that great. I'm sure you guys could come up with something better, but I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, let me show you some of the other houses as well. Get out of my way. I actually, so like, you know, the merchant carts that they have, I basically just redesigned it. Uses the same dimensions, everything. The only thing I did is I enclosed it so they actually can't really leave, and I made it so they can't really jump over either by adding the trapdoors up to the roof above their head. Then they're a little bit too short to actually or too tall to actually make their way out of there, so they're stuck in there. It looks really nice. You could probably have some stuff set out on the counter if you wanted to, like a sword or something, if you wanted to make it a little bit more lively. But basically I'm just revamping all these buildings. As you can see, I've done at least 5 of the buildings already, and then I started working on the second section, which these ones aren't done back here, but these two are. Now I'm not really proud of this one, and the reason I'm redesigning all of them is so I can kind of like pick and choose which ones are going in our Let's Play world. As you guys know, I believe this one's definitely going in it. I have a plan for this one, and those two for sure. I'm just not 100% sure about the rest of these, and I also don't know if like I should really keep like the same design for like a smithing area, but like I said, I really do want to kind of keep it like similar to the villager areas and then just make them look nicer. So we'll see how my little smithing area turns out down there. But yeah, this is basically all for my mountain cave base. It'll be a villager city in there, so that's pretty exciting for me because now I've basically copied and pasted. So it starts out like this, right? The actual building. Excuse me. Then I go back through and I basically replace all the blocks with the palette that I actually like, and then I start adding the details, start changing up some of the areas if I don't like it. So like this area right here, we obviously don't have this side connected, so if I really wanted to, I would just delete this or add a new side to this, right? I don't know why it didn't make it. I must not have actually copied the right amount, which is unfortunate, but looking at this side I can kind of tell what the other side's supposed to look like. But anyways, let me show you the second house. I switched out the block palette for this. This one was basically a regular villager house. The only difference is they had a chimney in here, which was made out of stone brick, but I switched it out for mud. I did not mean to zoom in like that, my bad. You got your little villager, they got their little thing. I did switch up the design on the inside for this as well. I think this was like a full block or something. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't looked at it. I added a pot with a little pot. I thought that was pretty cool. I always add extra storage in here as if it's actually a livable space for these guys. Books, things, armor stand in every single one because it kind of works as like a clothing shelf. Sorry, where were we at? I just had to go make sure my cat's knocked something over in the living room. So if there's a jump cut, it's because of that. I don't remember where we were at. I think we're talking about the living area and the armor stands in each house because it acts as like a what's it called? A dresser, you know, where they can put their clothes, or a hanging rack, I guess, for like coats and stuff. So I did do that in most of the houses that I've started with. Now, not all of these are houses, but I'm gonna try to treat them like houses. And for the most part, if you look around the houses, they have their own little like growing sanctuary. I don't even know what it's called, like a little farm on the outside, so they can collect their crops and things like that. So I did that by, if you look behind, there's stone brick for the foundation. If you look back there, basically what I did is I took a stone brick stair, flipped it upside down, right? And then I put I waterlogged that block and then put dirt on the outside, just so you can't really tell that there's a water source back there, but it is a part of the house technically. I think it's in this middle block here, but yeah, I basically did that for all the houses just so it made it more realistic, because there's not going to be a lot of farming space in the cave, right? So I wanted to make sure they had their source of food and could actually get their food. So I basically made it so they had it on their house so they can collect it whenever and eat it. It's their own food source, things like that. Try to make it as legit as possible. So if you look at this house is very similar to this one. I try to keep a similar style for each house just so they don't look outrageous. They all have kind of like the white roof. But this one ended up was a little bit shorter width lengthwise. I don't know what it's called, but basically from the side angle it's a little bit shorter. And this one didn't come with a chimney, so I didn't add a chimney or anything like that. I did add a little porch overlook right here. This one also has the food. And then if you come inside, it's just a small little one. And then we can add a little villager in here. He can go to sleep or whatever. But I did add little shelves to the top. See, it's a nice little quaint home. You could also do something like this for like a starter home if you wanted. But yeah, let's move on to the next house. As you guys can see, I do tend to do a similar detail around all the houses by adding the barrels with a stair and a slab. That is just to make it look like there's more of a foundation, also give it a little bit more depth. And it can be a little bit repetitive, as you guys know. But I just think it looks generally nicer than just having a flat wall. But that's me. You guys can do your builds how you like. But let's move on to the next one. So this one was a little bit more difficult. Basically, I revamped this entire build. So originally this pillar was basically right here, and I just extended it really to go all the way across. Excuse me, I'm having a hard time speaking today. My cats are acting up. This video might just turn out as a horrible mess, but I have hiccups right now, so I'll try to be quick about this. Yeah, so this was basically the fishing house, I believe. I think that's what these are called, or I don't really know exactly, but I turned this into a house. They got their food sources around the outside, right? It's a little bit taller, a different shape. Now it's really skinny on the inside, but that's fine, right? Like, it's not too important, right? Like, they don't need too much. They got their storage up top right here, as you guys can see. Just a small little house, just something they can live in, sleep in. Jeez, you don't gotta open it like that. Jeez, aggressive. let's go over here. So this one's also got its food storage around the outside, as you guys can see, and it is also pretty skinny, right? So we just haven't put anything in here, like we haven't put the carpet down so they can not escape, no escape. Let's actually do that right now. What color should we do? We should probably do red, because I've kind of kept a similar pattern for each of these houses. The carpet stays the same color as the actual bed, so that's kind of what I've done. So now you guys can see these are very similar designs, but very different at the same time. Very similar shapes, but they look different, and I really enjoy the fact of how similar they are and yet still how different they are. And I'm saying the same words over and over again. Let me show you the little brewery tower here. This is also one of the brewery areas that I've tried to turn into a house. I was working on this last, and I don't really like this design, unfortunately. So I might not ever use this in the build, but I couldn't really find a way to turn this build into something that I liked. It's okay. It's just not the best. And here is the brewery tower. I have done quite a bit of work to this. So if I actually, I'll show you guys something real quick. Let me find a wooden axe, because that is what I use for WorldEdit. And let's go all the way over. Let's find one here, right? Let me show you what this looks like. This is what it originally looked like. So what we can do here is we can copy this here, right? And then what you do is you place a block way out here to make sure you get the whole base, right? And then you break this up, you right click it, and then now we have this whole base. Now what we can do is we can / copy. Now we have this build, right? We can go all the way back to this build. And as you guys could see, we were facing this way. So what we want to do is we want to / rotate 90, right? So that should rotate it 90 degrees this direction. And we were standing right about here. And now what we can do is / paste. And there we go. Oh, I must have been standing in one of the dirt things. So that's okay. What you do is / undo. I can just fall down a hole real quick. / paste. Let me type that out correctly. There we go. So that works out now. So that is the original versus the updated one. So as you guys can see, quite a difference, yet still the same build. So I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I do enjoy it. I even added a little hood. Let me get rid of weather. All right, the weather's clear now. Let me show you the inside of this build. So this one is purple. We got our brewery stands. We got some storage. We got our little brewery guy right here. So this is a little brewery stand that they can have in their city. They can also live here. So I built this as like their workplace, but they also have a living quarters. So they got a little bed up here with some decorations. They got a little mushroom and a pot right here, which I think is pretty cool. Most people put flowers, but I feel like this guy would have a mushroom for some reason because of potion brewing. Up here you got a little bit more storage and kind of a lookout. And I made it this way with the half slabs is so you can actually look over, because if you come over here, right, you got these big blocks blocking you. You can see from the corners and stuff, but realistically you can't see everywhere. So I just switched that out over here. Can I fall, please? And you can see out in the angles you would like to see. And if you really wanted to, you could hop up and look over as well. But yeah, this is kind of the last build that I know I'll definitely add somewhere in that cave. I'm just not sure exactly the placement of any of these builds. So over the next few days after I completely revamp every single one of these, that one's an inn. I think I definitely want to add an inn. So if there's travelers, they could like stay there. I think it's only smart, right? That'd be a cool one to add. There's this one that's also, I believe, like an inn as well, and that one as well. But I'm not 100% sure. I think we want to go with the big one and then maybe one like this. I'm not too sure about like this too tall or these ones. That one is actually a horse stable. So it's interesting. I did not know villagers had horse stables or anything like that. So that one's pretty cool. This one actually is just for animals. So we could have a little spot in there for animals like that as well. I'm not like too sure. I think I got all of them. I think it's about 20 structures altogether. So we have 5 here, 10, 15, 20. So yeah, we have about 20 structures altogether. But this is the original one for this design. I did kind of want to add the originals next to all these to showcase, but I didn't have enough time to go and do that. So basically, I just built over them. Originally, I was gonna just copy and paste it right next to each other and then start the build, but I kind of got a little lazy. But anyways, I've been rambling for quite some time. Let me show you this last build and then we'll end this video. I know it's been kind of just me talking, not really building or anything like that, but I did want to kind of update you on where we're at in our build world, what we have working on right now. So here we go. So this is kind of the inside of this small house. It is kind of cool. You got a little kitchen that does not look good at all. You got your armor stand, and then upstairs you got the bed, and it's not really decorated well up here. But yeah, I think it will work out just fine eventually, right? But it looks okay from the inside. It just doesn't look very good from the outside, and I'm not sure what to do about it. I did want to keep a similar block palette to this one, but I didn't want the upstairs to be white, and I'm not sure how I like this one. I don't know if this is gonna be in there, but there is the idea of me having like this style of house, right, with the white on a different level than like these ones down here, right? Like we could have these on like the main level, and then we have the white ones on like a different level, like, because you know in the world we have the layers. We have like the base layer where we have the river, then we have the slightly middle raised one, we have the one way up there that we don't really have access to other than flight, which that might be different in a future video. But yeah, that's probably an area we could put houses. We could put houses on that small platform that I don't really have flattened, but I'm not too sure. I want to get all these designed and then kind of come up with a plan for how we're going to place them in the world. So you guys let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see another video kind of like this. I know it's not really a conventional like let's play or even a tutorial or anything like that. It's more of a update video, I guess. I'm getting tired of the tutorial ones. I'm not very good at it, and I should work harder to do them, but the issue is I want to do them with like the ReplayMod, but also there's things about ReplayMod that just isn't that great for me, and I don't really know how to use it to the best of my abilities. Usually I record with like an OBS software and then edit the videos, but when you do the ReplayMod, right, it has like a big record in the top left, which means I can't really record it with OBS, which means I have to record the whole video almost with just the, or at least the building aspect with just the ReplayMod, and I've not figured out like a good way to go about it. So if you guys have any tips down below, comment. I will see you guys all in the next video. Thank you. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Bye!